What's making all that noise? I swear, every time I start a video, every time I start a recording, one of these fine gentlemen just shows up out of the blue. This one has not bad stuff. I haven't seen an enchanting pickaxe from one of these. I don't have the emeralds regardless, but every time I show up, a new llama's just barking my ear off. I don't think llamas bark, but these ones do. Wow. Anyway, you have missed out on the adventure of a lifetime here. Just got back from the old caves. I tried to put a montage together. It might have been a little dark, but such are the caves. But check this out. Just take a second, absorb it. Now, this is my second time recording this intro. So imagine I had 29 diamonds. And imagine that together we ceremoniously crafted our first diamond tool together. And it was a tearjerker. My microphone wasn't on, but we were crying. It was a beautiful thing. And now we have a diamond pickaxe, which I'm going to keep on me just to get some obsidian, even though I have a few iron pickaxes to work through first. But anyway, we have plenty of iron, plenty of gold, plenty of diamonds remaining, and we're set. We are set. Now, in terms of what we're going to do today, no more mining, because I am almost overwhelmed with the amount of valuables we have. But I was looking at our pasture here. Obviously beautiful cattle. That is no question. But look how small and dainty our other farms are. Like, you think of the real world. No one just has a 9x9 plot of wheat. They have fields. And carrots and potatoes. They have fields. And what I'd like to do is really improve. I'm going to go inside and sleep. Is to really improve the look and feel and realism of our farm. But the first step to doing that is to use some of the goodies that we found in our mining. Not the diamonds and emeralds and whatnot. But check this out. We found 2 dungeons. And in one of them was the Holy Grail. Iron horse armor. Now, I know what you're thinking. Can't you get gold and diamond horse armor? I don't know. Maybe. But we have iron horse armor, and that's plenty good enough to inspire a little journey back to our horses that we know where. I hope they're still there. And we're going to go out and grab a horse and really play the role of the farmer, someone who's tending to the land. Also, we found an abandoned mine shaft down there and some deep dark, which I was a little too scared to explore. I don't think we found an ancient city. Not that I saw. But definitely some deep dark, some cool stuff in that cave. But anyway, let me grab this iron horse armor. And I'm going to start out getting a horse. We're going to get the most beautiful horse. I can already feel it. And I'll loop you back in when we have one. Oh, I think we found the one. If I dare say so myself, I think we found the most beautiful horse in the land. Now, it wasn't my first choice, but we don't have to say that out loud. It's too late. I said it. This wasn't my first choice. My first choice was... he might have died. He's nowhere to be found. There was one with some white shoes on him, and it was truly a pretty horse. But it was a little slow. And that's why they always say you can't judge a horse by its cover. And this one has some beautiful markings. Beautiful markings, and it's an athlete. Look at this. Oh, it's not a great example. Yeah, there we go. A nice straightaway. Yeah. That one's moving. Now, I'm not a horse expert. Never have been. And probably never will be. But this horse seems to do okay. Can jump up 2 blocks. That's a beautiful thing. I think it's time to crown him the Iron Horse champion. Wrong button. Now, wrong button. Wow. Our trusty steed. So now it's time for the triumphant return back to our home, where we can settle this guy in, get him acclimated, and let's see what the two of us can accomplish in this little world. Good horsey, good horsey. Now, don't mind being tied up. I know it's a pretty harsh adjustment from being a wild horse to a domestic horse, but I think you'll make the change just fine. You seem to be settling in. Hang out with the cows. They're not quite horses, but 4 legs. And you stay here, not to be forgotten, but just to be safe and secure by the fence. Now, we have a pretty big project for today. And I mean, you can just look at it right in front of us. We have a lot of land, and there's so much we can do with it. And even if we do a lot with it, there's still going to be a lot more land. So we're going to expand our operations from patches of wheat and such to acres. That's the vision that I have. So let me do a quick walkthrough of our plan. Maybe a cinematic view would be a little better just to see what I'm talking about. But we have the cow patch here, the cow pasture, I should say. I want to have another one for sheep. I want to have another one for cows. Just kidding, for pigs. And a smaller one for chickens. And then I want to turn most of these visible rolling fields into growing areas. So for wheat, for carrots, for potatoes, and just sort of have a rolling farmland sort of vibe. First thing to tackle is some of this stuff. Some of the caves are a little too cavey, and some of the hills are a little too hilly, in my opinion. So we're going to smooth some of it out, take some of the dirt that we take away from here, and use it to fill up some of these holes a little bit. I'm going to try and do it and be thorough. I'm going to try and light up the caves and not leave just pits of darkness underground. And finally, a little part of the plan, I noticed that there's this area. This is sort of like an indent or a depression in the land. I think a pond would do very nicely here, just to break it up. And then having paths, some paths and roads that surround the pond and sort of go back to our place. And down the line, I'd like to put a barn somewhere, maybe over here, maybe over here. The barn is not going to be today's business, I don't think. But to get started, I'm going to do some of that terraforming, and that's going to take me a while, and it'll take you guys just a few seconds from your perspective. But let's get started. Well, I guess all I can say is you're welcome. You are welcome for that dirt digging montage. But take a look. I don't know how obvious it is to you, especially from the ground floor, but this place, especially this half, not the distant half, is a lot smoother. A lot smoother. No more caves, at least in the center here. And much better prepared for some growing and some animals, I think. Now I'll show you, I have a little map plugin installed. It's called Journey Map. Very exciting. You can see our house, and just to get an idea, you can see the village where we got our horses, the spruce. I think you can see my mouse here. In the far right, the spruce. But let's use it to take a look at some of the smoothing that I did in this area primarily. Still a little jagged in some of the areas, but I feel like a good mix is fine. And it's tough to smooth out everything. We'll see. We'll see if it requires more smoothing. But anyway, step 1 complete for the most part. Again, anything could change. Step 2, I think, is going to be making this pond. I'm not sure how much of a challenge it's going to be. I've never filled in a pond, and I know that water, at least it used to be, pretty temperamental. So we're going to bring some water out here. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. And I might start laying out the pens for the animals. I haven't decided if I want the pens to share a wall or to have space in between them. That one I could use some feedback on. I think I'm going to start off by making it space in between and sort of just round pens nearby. And finally, I'm going to mark off some pathways just to get a bare bones outline of the space that we have to work with and everything. I think that the barn spot, I've flattened out a little bit of a space right over here. This level here should be plenty big enough for a nice barn down the line. I might put some blocks where I imagine the barn to be, just to get a better visual for the space. Okay, very fun, very fun. Anyway, that's my new checklist, and I'll see you when those are done. What a beautiful day for a swim in our brand new pond, freshly landscaped. Let me just wade out of here. Take a peek. I think this could do it. I didn't really do any terraforming of this land, this area, so the pond is of its natural shape, the natural shape that it would be. Now, we also put some paths in, and they surround the pond. They shoot off towards the village a little bit, shoot off that way a little bit. You can see in the map, sort of dividing up our land into a few sections. You can also, oh, that's not W. It's those. I need to get a new source of food. My potatoes, they taste great, obviously, but they don't really last very long in terms of hunger. You can see I've laid out just 4 corners of what might look like a barn one day, just so I know where I can plant and where I shouldn't plant, save myself some work and get a better feel. And our magnum opus, we got some new sheep. And the baby grew up. We had a black one and a white one, and now we have a gray baby. Very nice. We have some sheep. We have just a few. You can see, it's like a zoo. You can see them way in the back. We have 3 pigs and 2 chickens. 2 chickens is not going to be nearly enough, but it's enough to start. Now my plan, I was thinking about it. I Want to continue along with the not having too many animals plan, just for visuals. But I think having a cooked chicken, maybe automatic cooked chicken machine, would really do us well. Excuse me. So I might put in like a chicken coop type structure that's just churning out chicken behind the scenes and having our decorative chickens up front. I think that's nice. So we've accomplished step 2, I think. The paths aren't really full paths. In fact, I'm a little nervous about making them full paths just because I'm not a great path maker. I think also that we'll need some coarse dirt, and I don't have any gravel. So those are just a few considerations. But next, step 3. Are you ready? I'm ready. Planting. It's going to be a behemoth because I have to plant and waterlog and give water to all of the soil. Pretty much not as far as the eye can see, but definitely for a few layers back here. I want it to just be covered for the most part. So I might make a diamond hoe, just get it over with. I know that seems unreasonable, but we have a lot of hoeing to do, a lot of tilling of the land. Yeah. Yes. Very nice, very nice. What else do I got to show you? Not much. I think I'm going to go ahead and get started hoeing the land. It's going to take a while. Another montage is coming up. And we're going to start planting. Another thing is that I don't have that many carrots and seeds and potatoes around. So it's going to be a slow process filling it out. I'm not sure we'll get it all done today. But we should have it looking pretty nice. Alright. I'm gonna go craft up a tool and get to work. Nothing like gobbling down 2 baked potatoes after a hard day's work. And hard work it was. But I'm so proud of the result. Look how beautiful this view is. Maybe it's just the time of day that's making it super extra, like, warm and inviting. But these fields are really doing it for me. Now, it was, as I said, it was super hard work. It's very grindy. I'm not usually a grindy sort of player, and that's just to do with my ADHD and my attention span. But I decided to lock in, and we accomplished something that I think is pretty great here today. And I will say, it did come at quite the cost. We spent 4 diamonds to get 2 diamond hoes. No regrets. But I had to stop there, and we went through maybe 9 more iron hoes just to get it done. That was an expensive little project of ours. I have a few more diamond hoes too, or iron hoes too. So in case we do more of this, I don't know when. We're prepared. Now I'm sure you don't need the walkthrough, but I'll give you the walkthrough. We got a nice field of wheat. This path goes on towards our village. We have beautifully manicured carrots and potatoes in perfect lines, I might add. Very green, very lush. We have a path that goes pretty much to nowhere at the moment. I'm sure we can build something there, or maybe there's a discovery waiting to be discovered that we haven't seen. Haven't really gone too far in that direction. We have another field of wheat. Can't have enough wheat. I mean, imagine how many bagels we could make just by harvesting once. It's inconceivable. And then work in progress, we got some beets. We got some beets that we're slowly populating. I started from just 1 seed from the village. That's all I could get my hands on. And we're slowly filling this up. Very nice, very nice. Still plenty of work left to do. particularly these paths, as I mentioned. I don't know why I keep choosing to say the word paths, because I have trouble with my S's and my THs, and they're all on the line there. But that's what they are. They are paths. And in the back of my mind, I think I'm contemplating another field over here next to the barn area. But that's probably for a different day. I am all planted out. If we take a look back at our old field, we can really see the difference. Now I'm going to slowly walk over. Yeah. I mean, what is this? Is this some sort of joke? This is an embarrassment. I can't believe I even started with this. Even from here, you can see the rolling fields. That's how impressive they are, in my opinion. Hi, cow. But I don't know. I don't know if you could tell. I'm very proud of this. I am very proud. Anyway, next up is making a little more progress on these paths. And there, I said it again. And I think adding some strategically placed walls and maybe, just maybe, like an entryway arch to the area, sort of like an old ranch might have. That's what's on my mind. And I think that's what I'm going to do next. So I'll be back, and hopefully, maybe for the final time, I'll have an update for you. Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. With this whole process, making roads look good, I am absolutely clueless. I even pulled up some YouTube videos, like see how the pros do it. They had some great tips, saw some great videos, and I couldn't apply it at all. I do not have any coarse dirt, and that is one shortcoming of the process. There are plenty of places where I'd love to add some coarse dirt, but we did what we could with my limited brain cells. But boy, did I feel like a doofus just bumbling around, aimlessly clicking on blocks, just sort of adopting the randomness is key mentality. And I did gain some confidence towards the end, but that was not where I shine. But before I show you that, I wanted to just add a finishing touch with you guys here on camera. Usually when I'm doing most of anything, I do like some clips and a montage, but this will do together. Now, I think that this might be, let me get my shovel, the most basic looking structure that I've ever made, but I do think that it's sort of realistic. Let's see if I can't reach down here. There we go. Now, I live in Colorado right now, and there's plenty of rural areas with tons of ranches, and a lot of them have these just simple log archways, and I think that they're pretty cool. Let's see how I can do this. And believe it or not, I'm embarrassed to say, but for the sake of transparency, I did this in a creative test world to make sure it wasn't terrible. And the jury's out. The jury is out on whether it's terrible. But let's try this out. We got this. A little horn shape. And let's see what I can do here. Oh no. Where's my math? Where is my math? Okay, we're golden. And then finally, don't look yet, it's a surprise. The final touch is this lantern. I'm going to cut down this tree eventually. But would you look at that? The entryway to our ranch. I'm taking naming suggestions right now. Names of the ranch. Maybe I'll try and put a sign up there or something. I think that's quite nice. Just a little touch to bring it all together. Now let's take our horse out for a spin and explore these paths. Let's see if I have anything. I don't have any space. Where did that go? Oh, I have it. Oh no. You're about to find out that I don't know how to use these. There we go. Trial and error. No. Empty hand, empty hand. Okay. Now, I don't know if the horse can ride through this entrance. Oh, it sure can. Take a look at these paths. There. Oh my god. Take a look at these. I pretty much did path blocks and spruce half slabs for the whole thing. And it goes around. It's definitely better than it was before. Before, it was taking away from the appeal. And now it's sort of adding a little bit, I think. Makes it seem a little bit worn down. And it's a nice way to get around. Reminds us which way to go. Don't trample. And I'm happy with it for now. Once I get to coarse dirt, I'll do one pass through with coarse dirt just to spruce it up a little bit. But besides that, I'm not really sure the next steps for decoration. And we just did the loop. We did the big loop. This horse is fast. Man, oh man. We also have some of these little offshoots. Most of them don't go anywhere. So don't worry about that. Don't worry your pretty little head about that. And that's about what we got for today. I had a lot of fun making this episode, and I hope that you guys enjoyed. And for this final sign out, I'm going to do something I rarely do. I'm going to use a command. I don't use commands to cheat or anything. Sometimes for my cinematics, I want it to be a certain time of day. So that's what you're seeing here. I'd love to experience the first sunrise through the gates with you, if you don't mind. So let's do it. Oh, it's chills already. But I just wanted to talk for a second about episode length and the timing of everything. And I wanted to get some opinions on if these episodes are too slow, too fast, too long, too short. And I can see what I can do about it. Let's see if... Oh, look at the shadow. Look at the shadow of the gate. That's something. But I'd love to hear in the comments some feedback if you made it this far. What's working well in these videos and what could be improved upon? I'm all ears. I have my style that I'm trying to pursue, so I'm not just gonna change on a whim entirely. But I do value the opinions of you guys, obviously. And that's the first sunrise, by the way. I hope you enjoyed. That was... Whoa, look at that dodge. I had a sixth sense. Let me just not hit this guy at all. What's happening? But anyway, I'm just going to get a new vantage point here. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you, hopefully, in the next one. All right. Bye-bye.